Alright, I want to start off this video, and I'm usually a pretty goofy and easygoing guy, but I'm going to be very sincere right now and tell everybody out there that has a position in AUPH right now that I sincerely apologize if you feel like you're holding the bag because of my channel and my information to you. I anticipated this playing out a whole lot different than it did, obviously, otherwise I would not have presented it to you. I realized that I did say and I did disclaim that there's a lot of risk involved, but for anybody out there who does feel like they're holding the bag because I suggested this stock to you, I want to extend my sincere apologies. And just to be completely transparent, I did not do this for my own gain. I don't have a position in AUPH. I made a last-minute decision not to pull the trigger on AUPH. Everybody in the Discord was aware. I did not close that position in AUPH. You can see all of my closed positions here. This was not one of the stocks that I got into, so I had nothing to gain from this. I just genuinely tried to help the community, and this is a call that I've missed. I like to think that more often than not, I'm pretty good with my predictions. I'm able to call some good plays. I called Zome, JagX, BNGO, PTE. I've made some good run-ups, but this was one that I thought was going to play out differently than it did. And anybody out there that's stuck holding the bag right now, I really do sincerely apologize. So I know it's heavier than usual, but I just want to always be transparent and own up to both my failures and my successes, and I consider this one to be a failure. So we're just going to start off that video by getting that out of the way. Anyways, what is up, everybody? Welcome to Trace Trades, where we have technical analysis on different stocks on the stock market, as well as potential buy, hold, or sell opinions on these given stocks. I'd like to preface by saying that I'm not a financial advisor nor expert, so take what I say with a grain of salt. The reason that I started this channel is because a couple years back I was about $30,000 deep in some medical debt, and I was very fortunate to have some close family, friends, and mentors that pushed me to work hard and invest my money, and I'm happy to say that not only am I now financially free, but I'm doing pretty well for myself at the age of 23. So if I can pass along any of the information, resources, or tools that are given to me here to the community, make a couple people better off than they were before, that's all that I can ask for. Last, if you would not mind dropping a like on the video, even if you don't enjoy it, that's fine too. It really does help support the channel, and consider subscribing if you'd like to see more content like this. Now today we're going to be giving a pretty lackluster update on AUPH. I'm going to try and give you as much light at the end of the tunnel as I can, give you both bullish and bearish indicators that I'm seeing right now on the charts, and we might actually have some bullish signs ahead of us. I'm not going to BS you guys. I'm not going to do this for my own personal gain. As I did show you, I don't have a position in the stock. I'm just going to tell you what the charts say currently, so that I can try to help anybody in their position that they're in right now. I do really genuinely feel bad for anybody out there that's holding the bag, and I want to make this as easy to get out of as you possibly can, or even turn a profit. So we're going to look at this macroscopically and microscopically, both on the 1 month chart as well as the 2-day 1 minute chart. I've got 3 different indicators pulled up, which are the RSI, the relative strength index. Anything over 70 is overbought, anything under 30 oversold. The 15-day VAMA, which is the volume adjusted moving average. Some brokerage accounts won't offer this. You may need to use the VWAP or the MA, but this is just a price action based valuation trend line over a 15-day moving period, adjusted accordingly to the overall volume going into a stock. And then the 200 EMA, which is the exponential moving average, and this is just a price action based valuation trend line over a 200-day moving period that indicates price action over a longer time frame. So we'll talk about what all 3 of these mean, give you some different levels of support and resistance. I'm going to give you guys potential entry points, but take that for what it is, just in case you'd like them. Potential exit points. I know that everybody out there is probably looking at some different entries. This is a very volatile stock in the pre-market. It was halted. There was risk involved with the stock, and although I did claim that there was risk involved with the stock, part of me kind of regrets putting that video out because I do feel responsible for everybody out there holding the bag. So I really do sincerely apologize to anybody who is feeling some sort of way about that. This is definitely a lesson learned for me about putting out stuff and just risk management. So anyways, I'll point out some different things that we're seeing here on the charts and the whole 9 yards. So I will also drop a Fibonacci retracement. Very easy tool to use. You just click on Fibonacci retracement on the Tools tab, or the Draw tab on Fidelity Pro, and I'm just going to change the color to white so it's easier to see. And we'll look at some retracements here, give you some ideas of both buyer and seller strength, give you an idea of what you may be looking at here in terms of buying pressure or selling pressure, and then we'll change it over to the 2-day 1 minute chart and look for some extra confirmations there. So quick shout out to the guys over the Patreon. We are almost 600 members strong now, which is absolutely insane. I can't believe that. It really does mean a lot to me that you guys support the channel. They will have access to the private Discord as well as real-time insight to my trading, and they got the first notice when I decided not to pull the trigger on AUPH. I instead went with AMC, and they also have access to this awesome Discord. So we've got a lot of good stuff in here: chat and questions, investing assistance, options trading, stock bot, which is a great tool, short-term plays, mid-term plays, long-term plays, SPAC plays, cult stocks, a whole bunch of different industries and sectors. And there's some people in here that make a lot of money. I just want to show you some of the earners and learners in here. We had Alex G, who turned a 57% profit in a single month, up $19,000. We've got another couple people in here. If we come over to the weekly earners and learners, today he turned 8.55%. Jameson, nude dude, it made me laugh. Turned 173% profit on BNGO. Absolutely filthy. So if you'd like to be a part of the community, there's a link to the Patreon in the description box down below. Now, if you're not familiar with what AUPH is, we'll just read you off a quick description. They operate as a clinical stage biopharmaceutical company which engages in the development of a therapeutic drug to treat autoimmune diseases. The company was founded by Robert Foster, headquartered in Victoria, Canada. And the reason that we expected this stock to go absolutely nuts is for two reasons. They got FDA approval on a drug to help treat what was the name of it? Lupus nephritis, I believe. And there was only the second drug to be approved by the FDA in that health sector. So there was a lot of anticipation, a lot of hype. The Stock Twist channel absolutely blew up. It was all over Reddit message boards. It was the I think top 10 ranked ticker symbol being searched in Discords for the last 24 hours, and it just did not play out the way that we envisioned it to play out. It did gain overall in the day, right? 26%. But most people weren't able to establish a position in AUPH until the pre-market, since it was halted. And this was another reason there was some anticipation and a little bit of risk involved with AUPH, is this overall stock halt. The company decided to halt the stock leading into the trading action here today, and because of this, it was tougher to game plan. There was less available knowns, right? We can only predict certain things. I will always be transparent and tell you guys, I'm never going to go back on my word. I thought at the very least this stock would touch $22 to $23, which it did do. But I thought that a good entry point would be anywhere between $19 and $20, which you still would have made money, but the potential there was extremely low. You didn't have a lot of time. There wasn't a lot of time frame here. So I'll show you guys this on the 2-day chart really quick, just so we can see what this actually looks like. But if we look at the pre-market, you had to be right on the money when the stock stopped being halted and get in right at 15 bucks, and you had about a 10-minute window to turn a profit, right? Either that, or when there was this weird market manipulation happening with these big rips and dips up and down, you could have maybe made something happen there, but there just wasn't enough to make this happen here today. And I don't know. It was a tough day. So I will take complete blame and discredit for the fact that it did not play out that way. I thought it was going to hit $22 or $23, and it did. But I thought we'd also have more opportunity for people to turn a profit. I thought we'd see more overall buying spread throughout the day. Not everything just in the first, couple minutes of the pre-market. And we did see a lot of volume, which is what confuses me. Typically, you're seeing a lot of red bars here. If I had to guess, I think people shorted this stock, but there's a lot of green volume here at the end of the day, which doesn't quite add up to me, right? So if we look at this overall green volume, this is about the same amount, if not a little less than we saw in the pre-market, and we gapped up from $15 all the way up to 23 bucks. And here, what do we go from? $18.49 up to $1 higher at the same volume? I don't know. That seems like a little bit of market manipulation to me, but I don't know anything about what they're doing over there on their side of things. All I can tell you is what I'm seeing on the charts. And what we're seeing on the charts right now is we do have a gap between the 15 VAMA and 200 EMA. I do anticipate there's a lot of bag holders out there. So we're going to be looking for a best case scenario here, right? What is the best case scenario? Well, from what I can see right now on the charts, we do have a little bit of light at the end of the tunnel. We do have a nice bottom out right here. A nice beginning of a cup and potential handle. And a cup and handle is typically when you see a big low dip with a fall back bounce, followed by another smaller dip and a nice bounce. And this typically indicates buying pressure, buying strength. But there's one thing that I don't particularly like about the retracement, and that is it comes all the way back down to 38.2% from the peak at 23.80. There's a lot of volatility. So it's either people are immediately taking profits when it reaches that peak, or it was short attacked. This could play out two ways if it was short attacked. If the stock is being short attacked, there could be shorts that are still holding their overall position in the company. And I'm just going to find out for us right now. I'm going to come over to the AUPH channel and the Discord, and I'm going to type in short AUPH, and this will tell us exactly how much short float we have, and it's 4.61% of the overall stock, so it's not a lot. So that's less likely to be the scenario, but it is possible. That's what we're seeing happen here. The more likely situation is people took profits immediately upon reaching that 23.80 mark at the top of this peak here, and then it dipped back down, and that's what we're seeing right now. But another bright side that we do see is the volume is high. We see a lot of volume here in the pre-market as well as the regular trading hours. Not a lot here in the after hours. It is kind of stagnating, consolidating, not moving a whole lot, just trading sideways. But if we do continue to see that volume into tomorrow, there is potential that this does continue to run. The overall price action on the previous month is pretty sideways, up and down, not a lot of movement. So we're not looking to continue this trend. You're looking to see, and this is probably one good plus side. We did correct from 90 all the way down to 54 on the RSI. So the correction wasn't very harsh, but this is a pretty good gap in points, right? So we came from 90. If you bought it on 90, which I think a lot of people did, unfortunately, then you're looking at a correction on the RSI of about 40 points, which is quite a bit. That's a big swing, and that'd be about the same as if you bought it at 57 and it ripped down to 20. That's not ideal. So what we're going to be looking for is another day where this approaches 70 on the RSI indicator. We see some buying pressure, we see some more volume. If we look at the overall candles, this will indicate whether or not we see some buying pressure or selling pressure. And there is a little bit of good here, but it did not play out perfectly. We've got this tightening and compressing of price action, which did end up breaking through the bottom trend line. We do have a nice doji candle. This is typically a good bullish indicator, but we just continue to bleed throughout the day. Finishing the day, we do have a nice wide range candle right here, a good green bar, followed by another small dip. So it does look like it has found the basement at the very least. I don't think you're likely to see this come under $18. I think $18 is the floor. And I might make myself wish that I hadn't said this, but I think if this holds over $18, you may see it slowly creep back up to some of these previous highs in that $20+ range. Now, what should you do if you're bag holding right now? Well, there's a couple different options. It depends on how bad you're down, how much you're willing to cut your losses with. But my personal strategy is when I'm holding the bag and I decided, you know what, screw it. I know this is going to keep bleeding, and I don't think we're there yet with AUPH, right? This is just one day of price action. I think there's still potential here. The charts don't look terrible, but if you bought it at the top, it's looking a little bit rougher, right? Anyways, if you don't believe this is going to go anywhere, I do believe it's best to cut your losses and make your money back somewhere else. And my prime example of that for myself is, I don't know if it'll show on here, but I did buy into NEO and XPEV back when I was learning to invest at some of their all-time highs, and they immediately pulled back after that. I lost out on about $10 per share, and that was just bleeding and bleeding and bleeding for a month. And I just couldn't let it go. I couldn't let it go. I just told myself, you know what, this will eventually come back, and it did, right? But I would have had to wait 2-3 months, and think about all the money I could have been making. I could have just not made that money back, but I could have made more money. And my regret there is that I didn't take the loss sooner, because if I just taken those profits and put them somewhere else where they could work for me, I could have made those losses back and then made some more money. So if you don't believe that this is going to go anywhere, I don't think that's where we are right now. But of course, do your own due diligence, make your own financial decisions. I would consider taking your loss and moving your money somewhere else. It's not the end of the world. I know money is a touchy subject, right? But I've closed down on positions where I was down $500 to $1,000 before, and it stings. It doesn't feel good. It makes you feel like a loser, and it's okay to feel like a loser sometimes, because we can't always win. I'm not always going to call the right shots. I'm not always going to call the right plays, and I will always admit that. But the wrong thing to do is to pretend you didn't lose, because if you pretend you didn't lose, you're going to continue to lose. You need to realize when something went wrong, and I still take complete blame for this. I'm not putting it on you guys whatsoever. You need to recognize that, okay, this didn't go as planned. I'm going to cut it here, and I'm going to make my money back and learn from this and take this as a lesson moving forward. And that is probably what I would do with AUPH if you don't think this is going to be going anywhere. So I know this wasn't a very fun video to do. We're going to look at the 2-day chart really quick on the 1-minute time frame. You can tell I'm not feeling it right now, guys. I apologize. I'm in my feelings right now. Anyways, we do have this good beginning of a cup and handle. Nice big bounce off of this dip, followed by another small dip. So what we're going to be looking for is a little bit of a swing back up. The price action here is a little bit choppy. Not a lot of good action here that we can say anything about. But if this does play out in the pre-market, we see some more volume step back in. We see another bounce off of this higher low. This could be an indicator of some good things to come. And another thing that I do notice that could be potential indicator is we do see an increase in green volume at the end of the day. So if this does continue into the trading day tomorrow, that could help push the price back up and help out some of our fellow bag holders to improve their position, cut some losses, or maybe even make a small profit. So that is what I have for the video today, guys. I really, I know it probably wasn't fun to listen to. I know I wasn't my usual self, but I wanted to get this out there because I never want to BS you guys, and I always want to say it straight how it is, and I will always take blame and always take credit for both my successes and failures. So that is what I have for the video today. If you enjoyed it, please drop a like. It really does help support the channel, and consider subscribing if you'd like to see more content like this. And lastly, I do have an affiliate link in the description box down below for Webull, and Webull is just a brokerage platform. You can trade in the extended hours. If you do use the link, you will receive 4 free stocks with a $100 deposit. I will also receive some free stocks. It's a great way to support the channel. If you're not interested, that's totally fine. I don't really care. I just appreciate your support by taking the time to watch my videos. So that is what I have for you guys today. Thank you for watching, my friends, and I'll see you all next time. Peace.